Arturo Riera here with Latin Percussion at California Brazil Camp, talking to LP endorser Annette Aguilar, founder of New York-based Annette Aguilar and her String Beans, Manhattan School of Music graduate, second master's in education, someone working with young people in the Bronx, very committed to education on many levels. And here you are at California Brazil Camp, Annette. Tell me why you come out here.
To learn.
I was telling somebody earlier today that you can tell the masters, the best players, are always the biggest fans and the perpetual students. So you just, confirm that. But you come all the way, really, this is California as your home base. Tell me a little bit about your arc as a musician. First of all, rare to have a female percussionist, especially playing Afro-Cuban music, and secondly, for a California woman to go all the way to New York to find her fortune. Tell me about all that good stuff.
Well, San Francisco has always been the best place for Afro-Cuban music that happened there in the 70s and 80s with Callaway and John Santos and all of us. But I wanted to get my master's in New York because I felt that I didn't want to go to the San Francisco Conservatory. Not that anything's wrong with that, but I wanted to get my butt kicked in New York, and I really felt that I needed to get it the challenge, and that's one of the reasons. And plus, I wanted to go study with all the real great Afro-Cuban percussionists and people like Jerry Gonzalez, Louis Balzo, who I studied for many years, and study orchestral thing. I really wanted to have an orchestra job, but those are hard. But just to really, be in where the world really happens, with the world of Dizzy and Chano Pozo and Tito Puente, who I got a chance to play with when I was doing a birthday for Dizzy Gillespie back in 1987 with the Manhattan School of Music. So that's
you mentioned really a string of jazz greats, and you're one of those folks that really takes that Latin jazz to heart and really goes as much to the jazz side as you do the Latin side,
right.
And that's your whole New York influence. Tell me a little bit about the projects you're working on now.
Well, right now, the band just celebrated 21 years, and with the latest release, the last third album, keeping the band afloat. And, it's been difficult in a lot of different senses because I've been keeping it from a duo to a 12-piece and just trying to keep that going. But also education-wise, I'm going into my 14th year teaching in the South Bronx at Immaculate Conception Middle School, and then also like the 9th year up in Celia Cruz Bronx High School of Music, where I teach a lot of orchestral stuff and the Afro-Cuban and Brazilian percussion and just the whole way around. So that's really my focus. And also now, mostly living up in the Heights and Inwood, my whole deal now is to get a whole Latin jazz workshop and drum club happening up there. And lately I've been having some of the graduates of Celia Cruz Bronx High School of Music come and sit in on some of my gigs, to give them a place where they can play. They go to school and stuff, but it's how to teach them how to get a gig. I mean, it's these days it's hard. We have to have a trade. You have to work. If you can't make it, you got to get the economics going. So, however, but I give them a door and a venue to open it up so they can play, outside, not just in your school auditorium.
So, last question, Annette, and really it's focused on you as really a role model and mentor, not only for other young musicians, but also young women who want to follow in your footsteps. So what advice would you give them?
Well, be mentally prepared. Take care of your health and your mental state of mind. Stay away from the bad things. Substance, alcohol, bad relationships. Focus on yourself and just learn as much as you can, as best as you can, because you're always going to run into some people who are just not as inviting. I've been fortunate enough to have a lot of support from a lot of Latin men who really, I was just doing the math on this recently, and in the last 10 years, the people who've supported my band have been men who've been hiring me, and they've mostly been Latino men. So when I hear some women say, Latino men, I said, no, it depends who you're hanging with. But I've had the major supporters be, that. But that's my thing, just to study more, keep it clean, keep it going, and it's really, the mental aspect, because a lot of people in the world are going crazy. Right.
Well, thank you so much, Annette Aguilar, Latin percussion endorser based in New York, educator, performer with Annette Aguilar and her string beans.
Oh, just one thing. The third record already came out, but we're working on some new stuff. It's going to be more on the Afro-Cuban, Afro-Brazilian side, so more
good.
depth. So,
All right.
so
Thank
good.
you, Annette Aguilar.
Thank you. Thank you.